We need to have a talk. Whenever I was in trouble, that's all I ever heard. I heard it a lot. Hey, welcome back to Frank's Modelworks. I'm Frank. So, we're continuing on in the holiday spirit with our model cars and coffee, but I'm going to be taking a departure. I'm not necessarily going to be talking about a specific model car. I want to talk about the model car community for a second. Now, we need to have a talk. It's the time of year where throughout the world, there are thousands of models wrapped and ready to be given as gifts to people who used to build models and stopped, and maybe somebody wants to get them started back in it again, or the people themselves ask, hey, could you get me a model? I'd like to take up that hobby again. Or somebody is getting a model for the very first time. They've never built one before. That poses a very tremendous opportunity for us as a community. If you remember a couple of episodes back, not on model cars and coffee, my series on body finishing, when I talked about doing a rant video about gatekeepers, I calmed down. I decided it's not really worth doing an entire video about gatekeeping, because gatekeepers aren't reachable. They're not. And gatekeepers, to define the term so people know what I'm talking about, gatekeepers are people who have been involved in a hobby or a pastime or whatever the case may be, and they reached a plateau and they never got any better. And they could have been stuck on that plateau for the past 5 years or the past 50 years. They're never going to get better. They're no longer willing to try. They scoff at the notion of even attempting to. And what they're more concerned with now is making sure nobody gets past them. Hence the term gatekeeping. They're standing in the way of other people getting through. How do they manifest themselves? Well, they're the ones, and I joked in part 9 of my body finishing series, they're the ones who will read the title of either a forum post, a Facebook group thread, whatever a YouTube video. They'll just read the title. Oh, there's an area where I'm an expert. They'll drop their wisdom upon us, and then they'll bounce. There's nothing we can really do about them. We just kind of have to wait for them to die. But what we can do is be more active in our advocacy for people returning to the hobby and people new to the hobby. Because what happens, generally speaking, around this time of year, like I said, people get a model as a gift. And they want to catch up on new techniques or learn techniques to begin with. And the way the algorithm works is they'll feed searches to the largest content creators within a genre. Now, hobby adjacent stuff, if you search for scale model, you're gonna get some of the big names, like I'm not gonna mention any names, where you're gonna find a wealth of information that is going to be really, really useful to you. And then there's going to be other content creators that are not necessarily harmful. There's nobody who's really harmful. It's just the information might not be the best for somebody returning to the hobby or starting out in the hobby to begin with. So if somebody happens upon that type of content and follows what they see on the screen, they might have problems. And then when they have problems, they'll seek out answers, and they might not necessarily get them on YouTube. So they'll hit other forms of social media. And when that happens, they'll do a search on social media, which will bring them to whatever the largest results, whatever the largest forum or the largest results of a group on a particular platform will be. And that's where the gatekeepers lie. Because they're just waiting. And their favorite phrase when somebody has a problem with a particular product or a particular method, a particular technique, or something goes wrong while they're building, the first thing that they'll say is, well, I never had a problem. I don't think there's anything more useless and less helpful than that statement. Well, I never had a problem. Because what you're really saying when you say that is, well, I never had a problem, so the problem is with you. And right there off the bat, you just put a bad taste in the mouth of the person who really wanted to get into this. You know, this was a gift, you know, and it's disappointment. And what stinks about gatekeepers are they're loud, they're obnoxious, and they don't shut up. Because you might be one of those people who might try to help, and they will drown you out. They will do everything they can. They will flood. Go look on some of the social media groups out there where gatekeepers reside. They will flood a simple question, and you'll see it has 400 comments. You know that's where they're going. They're running rampant inside there. And this is not a fault of the people that run those forums by any stretch of the imagination. These things are like whack-a-moles. These gatekeepers, they pop up everywhere, and they can't be deterred. You know, they're not going to be deterred by reason or decorum. It's contrary to what they are as human beings. So the only way to strike down bad counsels are with good counsels, and we need people who know what they're talking about to open their mouth more, because it's very easy, it's debilitating to get into it with these people in the comments. It really is. It's debilitating. They will suck the life out of you because they are committed to never getting better, and they're more committed to making sure as many people as they possibly can never move ahead. And it's scary. So we need to start first by promoting people, which is why you'll notice within the community, the YouTube model car community, those of us that stick together, we look out for each other. We shout each other out. I put my email address in every single one of my YouTube videos. You could get in touch with me. I give you all of my social medias. Facebook, my email address, my Instagram, my TikTok. My name is Frank Steffens. If you wanna friend request me on Facebook, go ahead. Chances are good. I mean, if I see a model car related, I'm gonna, I'm probably gonna do it I'm probably gonna accept it anyway, unless it looks like, scam. But I'm open to help people, as are the other members of this community. And we actually, the other day, I was on the AMC livecast with Scale Model Outlaw, Mike, Bruce Scott from Bruce's Eclectic World, and Jason Klein from Klein Racing Design. And we started discussing what goes on and how we need to do more to promote the hobby as far and wide as possible. We need to bridge gaps in the demographics within our community, because a diverse community with as many people involved as possible means a larger community overall. Okay? The gatekeepers want you to think that the hobby is dying, because if the hobby dies, then it's better for them, because soon they'll be gone, and at least they know nobody got past them. But the fact of the matter is, the hobby's not dying. More people join every year. More people get into it every year. There are young people who build models. There are females who build models. There are people that do not look like me that build models, and they're really good at it. Every demographic is represented in this hobby. It is. They might not engage because they don't want to deal with gatekeepers. So we have to step up. And we have to make sure that people who might otherwise shy away from the social aspects of this hobby know, and I want you to know, you're welcome with me. I'll talk to you about modeling and life in general all day long. Be glad to help. And there's a lot of us out there. We are actually the majority. The gatekeepers are not. They are an incredibly loud and obnoxious minority within this hobby. So with that in mind, moving forward, if you don't look like me, I want to be your friend. The other night in the chat of the AMC livecast, there was a person who said, well, I build, my modeling is solitary and I do it to stay away from people. And we were like, I want to meet you. I want to meet you. Because maybe I could change your mind. Become more involved with each other. Because that's, at the end of the day, a hobby is about happiness. It's about achieving something that makes you happy. And maybe it's not the best thing in the world. My models are garbage. That's a healthy attitude to have towards them. They're not that good. You get uptight on my models, they're not that good. I'm not under the delusion that there's anything special about it. But I enjoy it. And what I enjoy more is talking about it. I get a lot of the gatekeeper comments frequently, oh, you're so long-winded. You just talk. Yeah, I do. That's right. I love it because I love talking about this subject. It's one of my favorite subjects to talk about. It's one of the only things that I have any type of knowledge about, which is, sad. But with it is also a self-awareness that I'm not an expert, but I'm willing to try and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to keep advancing, keep moving forward. And even if I don't move forward, I have to always have fun. And my fun will never be at the expense of somebody else's fun. Because I'm not a gatekeeper. And I don't want you to be a gatekeeper either. I want you to actively engage with people. Don't try fighting with a gatekeeper. They will tire you out. You'll never reach them. I want you to actively engage with the targets of gatekeepers and make them feel welcome. Help them through the gate. Pass them. Ignore that guy. Pay no attention. What do you need help with? And then talk to them. Even if it means reaching out to them, through a direct message. Listen, I saw your post. I don't want to post in there because it's going to get drowned out, and try to answer their questions. That's the talk I wanted to have with you guys. Because it's the time of the year where we're giving. So let's give what we have, the positivity about this hobby. And the prospect of bringing new people or bringing people back into the hobby. As many different types of people as humanly possible. And once we do that, I think this hobby, we're all going to see this. I mean, most of us know anyway. This hobby is not dying. It is far from dying. It is not even close to it. Nobody would be releasing new products if this was a dying industry. It's just the way it is. And there's new releases coming out all the time. So, stay positive. That's the message. Positivity. I was gonna make this into a rant, but they're not worth a rant. They're not worth the anger. Because that's what they want. Because they're angry people. So, I smiled through most of this, if you realize that. And I wasn't really that sarcastic. I think I did pretty well. Let me know what you think. Because I'm interested in what you think. Believe it or not. Unless you're a gatekeeper. Then I can just ignore you. Alright. So, this is the last one before Christmas. If you celebrate Christmas, I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas. I want to wish everybody a very happy, healthy, prosperous new year. Whatever it is you celebrate this time of year, please enjoy it with loved ones, with peace, and with joy. As always, I got Frizzo's back. Love you, pal. Merry Christmas. I appreciate your support. Until we speak again, my friends, take care of yourselves and be well.